You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right. No disrespect, champ. No disrespect.
With us. I love him as a boxer. As a man, he is behind. And he's holding my children back by giving them the wrong perception of what you should be aiming for with your success.
Tell Floyd to get on live. Tell him show where he at. You owe them people over in Dubai that money. Tell him get on live right now.
His comeback will be huge.
We wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
I want my win to.
The boxing world was reeling when a grainy video depicting an intimate encounter between Davis, the reigning WBA lightweight champion, and Gianna, the daughter of boxing legend Floyd Mayweather, surfaced online. The internet exploded with speculation, but the source of the leak was undeniable. Davis himself said this shocking act, fueled by a simmering feud, threatened to shatter the already strained relationship between the two fighters. The roots of the conflict ran deep. Mayweather, widely considered one of the greatest boxers of all time, had taken a young Davis under his wing early in his career. He saw the raw talent and explosive power in the fighter, and many dubbed Davis Mayweather's protege. However, the partnership soared over a financial dispute, and rumors swirled that Mayweather owed Davis a hefty sum of upwards of $0 million for undisclosed services rendered during Davis's rise to stardom. When attempts to collect the money failed, Davis, in a desperate and ill-advised move, resorted to the video leak as a twisted form of leverage. Mayweather, ever the calculated tactician, remained uncharacteristically silent for days. The boxing community buzzed with anticipation. Would Mayweather, known for his defensive prowess and undefeated record, choose to retreat into a comfortable retirement, or would the fiery video ignite a competitive fire within him, luring him back into the ring for a brutal showdown? Finally, Mayweather emerged from the shadows. Not with fiery pronouncements, but with a measured statement. Javon made a grave mistake. He said his voice betrayed a hint of disappointment rather than rage. He let his anger cloud his judgment. However, I have never backed down from a challenge in my career. If he wants a fight, he'll get one, but it will be on my terms. Mayweather's terms, as it turned out, were indeed brutal. He demanded a staggering pay-per-view cut, a significant weight disadvantage for Davis, and an 8-round exhibition bout, not a sanctioned professional fight. The boxing world was divided. Some saw it as a shrewd move by Mayweather, a way to financially capitalize on the controversy while putting Davis in a lose-lose situation. Others felt it was an act of humiliation, a way for Mayweather to publicly chastise his former prot. Davis, facing mounting pressure from his sponsors and the potential for legal repercussions, had little choice but to accept the fight dubbed the Legacy Tarnish. The buildup was unlike anything boxing had seen before. Press conferences were a tense ballet of veiled threats and simmering resentment. Snippets captured a hardened Mayweather, his eyes glinting with a cold fire, and a despondent Davis is burdened by the weight of his actions. The night of the fight arrived, and the atmosphere crackled with a toxic mix of anticipation and disgust. A volatile blend of die-hard fans and curious onlookers was electric as Mayweather swaggered into the ring. The booze was deafening, yet a sense of respect remained, a recognition of the greatness he embodied when Davis entered. A hush fell over the audience, a mixture of pity and apprehension. The fight itself was a masterclass in dominance. Mayweather, despite being several years older, toyed with Davis, whose footwork remained impeccable and his defense impenetrable. Davis, clearly hampered by the weight disadvantage and weighed down by the emotional baggage, struggled to land a single clean punch. The crowd, initially hostile towards Mayweather, began to appreciate the brilliance of his display by the final round. Even the most ardent Davis supporters were calling for the referee to step in because the judge's decision was a mere formality. Mayweather, with a unanimous victory, extended his undefeated record, but the true victory, it seemed, was a more personal one. He had not only defeated Davis in the ring, but had exposed the flaws in his character. In the post-fight interview, Mayweather, his voice devoid of triumph, spoke. This wasn't about a win or a loss. He said this was about a lesson. Hopefully, Gavin will learn from his mistakes and become a better man. The Legacy Tan lived up to its name. It wasn't a glorious fight, but it was a spectacle. Nonetheless, it was a stark reminder that even in the brutal world of boxing, there are lines that shouldn't be crossed. And as the final bell echoed through the arena, one thing was certain: the boxing world would forever be marked by the fallout between a mentor and his prot, a fight fueled not by athletic glory but by betrayal.
Because that's just me. You know, like I said before, it's all about working smarter, not harder. I'm going to get a check regardless. You know, it's no different from this. When I wear Hublot on my trunks,
I'm about to say, yeah,
Hublot, they probably cut a check for $8 million. You know, they probably cut a check for $8 million. Because the thing is this, a lot of people settle for less. I'm gonna go get what I have to go get. I'm gonna go get it. I have to. You only got one life to live. So I'm not gonna ask you for nothing. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna have to give me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before, you ain't gotta shoot a number at me, because I'm gonna shoot a crazy number at you.
This guy, Floyd.
Has he paid Logan yet?
He still hasn't paid Logan. He's calling me out, saying once I fight a real fighter, I'm gonna get destroyed. He didn't even know the name of the guy he was fighting. He's ruining his legacy. Like, this is a guy who arguably had one of the greatest legacies in the sport of boxing.
Boxing world held its breath as the news broke that a fight unlike any other was brewing. Javon "Tank" Davis, the reigning WBA lightweight champion, and Floyd Mayweather Jr., the undefeated boxing legend, was set to clash in the ring. But this wasn't your typical champion versus legend showdown. This was a fight shrouded in controversy, fueled by a bitter feud and a single brutal condition. The seeds of discord were sown years ago. Mayweather, recognizing the raw talent in a young Davis, took him under his wing. He saw something special in me. Davis later admitted in a scathing interview that he called me his protege and promised me the world. However, the partnership soared, and rumors swirled about a hefty sum of over $100 million owed by Mayweather to Davis for services rendered during his rise to stardom. When attempts to collect the money failed, Davis, in a desperate and reckless move, leaked a private video featuring him and Mayweather's daughter. Mayweather, known for his icy composure, went uncharacteristically silent. As the fallout unfolded, sponsors distanced themselves from Davis, and legal repercussions loomed. Finally, Mayweather emerged from the silence, not with fiery pronouncements but with a chilling offer. He'd step back into the ring, but only on one condition: a winner would take all fights. The implications were staggering. If Davis won, he not only kept his title and his reputation somewhat, but he'd finally receive the owed money. However, if he lost, not only would the championship belt be surrendered, but the debt would be considered null and void. Additionally, Davis would be forced to retire from boxing altogether. It was a sucker punch Davis fumed in a press conference. His voice is laced with desperation. He knows I can beat him. He's scared. This is all about revenge, not money. Yet, despite the public bravado, a flicker of doubt flickered in his eyes. Mayweather, the undefeated master strategist, had crafted a fight that played on Davis's deepest insecurities. The media dubbed the fight the redemption gamble for Mayweather. It was a chance to publicly humiliate his former protege and reclaim his narrative for Davis. It was a desperate gamble, a chance to not only redeem his career, but also secure his financial future. The build-up to the fight was a maelstrom of emotions. Mayweather, in his usual flamboyant style, reveled in the spotlight. Davis, on the other hand, retreated inward, his public appearances riddled with nervous energy. The training camps became battlegrounds, with leaked footage showcasing the fighters' raw intensity.
He's disrespected the sport, he's disrespected religion, he's disrespected friends, family, and everything. And as a New Yorker, what can you expect is going to happen to you when you did all that disrespect?
Tank Vince out on social media. He's been through a lot, you know, throughout his life. So, but I take my hat off to him. I'm proud of him. Saturday night we had a game plan, and you know, a lot of times when he says certain things on social media, I say, you know, he's to me he's still a kid, and when I was that age, I probably would have did the same thing. I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to stand behind me and tell me, you know, about what's right and what's wrong. He got the job done, but
thrives on rivalries, but few burn quite as intensely as the one between Javon Davis, Tank, and Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather, the legendary undefeated champion, was once Davis's mentor, taking the young fighter under his wing now, but their relationship has soured, with Davis slinging verbal grenades at his former idol. The cracks began to show a few years ago when Mayweather, a notorious businessman, transitioned into promoting fights. Davis, a rising star with knockout power, was seen as a potential cash cow, but whispers arose that Mayweather wasn't giving Tank the guidance and opportunities he deserved. Tensions escalated when Davis felt Mayweather was subtly criticizing his spending habits. This is where the gloves truly came off in a series of interviews and social media posts. Davis unleashed a torrent of accusations. "This man was supposed to be my mentor, someone I looked up to." Davis said in a scathing interview that he took me in, promised me the world, and then what kept me on a leash used me for his own gain. Davis wasn't shy about calling out Mayweather's alleged hypocrisy. He lectures fighters about finances, but then gets caught up in some shady business in Dubai. "Come on, champ," Davis scoffed. "You built your empire on risk-averse fights. Cherry, picking opponents now that you're out here judging others." The barbs turned personal. Davis poked fun at Mayweather's flamboyant lifestyle, suggesting it masks deeper insecurities. He's obsessed with money, and flash is all that bling in all those mansions. What does it prove? The scale of Mayweather's reported ownership of Davis' future earnings is substantial. This arrangement could set a precedent for other promoters to influence how they approach fighter contracts and promotional agreements. As the boxing world watches closely, the relationship between Floyd Mayweather and Javon Davis remains a point of intrigue. The $100 million ownership claim brings the business aspect of boxing into sharp focus, highlighting the need for transparency and fairness in all aspects of the sport. Ultimately, it is up to both fighters and promoters to ensure that the integrity of boxing is upheld and that fighters have the freedom to shape their own careers.